Welcome to NVerzion's hybrid web, browser-based solution. For over 30 years, NVerzion has provided efficient, reliable control solutions for broadcast television. The hybrid web browser supplements NVerzion's established automation package, adding an extra layer of remote operation. This functionality adds essential control to the broadcast operation by monitoring specific locations across the web. Devices are controlled via core components such as the router. NBase manages local database activity. As shown in our setup, we have a total of 5 on-air playlists being monitored, 2 main channels and 3 sub-channels. This setup also includes NGest for manual recordings and NTime for scheduled events, recordings, router switches, and time-based events. All of these automation components can now be monitored and controlled from the web, whether through a secure local network connection or via the internet. You can manage and monitor your stations remotely, even from home. Our final layer is the web interface itself, displaying the NVerzion main screen. Here, user activity is managed by specifying the user type. We can log in as an admin, a standard user, or a guest for viewing purposes. When logged in as an admin, we gain access to components granted through the admin interface. This allows us to configure viewing and control options for each component. From there, we manage various automation components including NControl, NTime, NGest, Encompass, EMCNT device control, EMC router for the router layer, and NBase for the database layer. When we click on each component, for example NBase, we get a detailed breakdown of the spots and media accessible on the station's video server. We can choose the number of events displayed on one screen with access to up to 64 events per page. Clicking on a specific clip provides detailed information about its accessibility on the server. This includes duration, trimming details, and metadata such as description and ASCII codes. We can edit this database record if needed, or set up a low-resolution version for viewing. From here, we can review timecode points, set trim points, and establish segment points if needed. We can play this out in low-resolution proxy, providing a sample of the media stored on the server. Here we have a convenient web-based player that allows us to navigate through the file. To exit, simply click the server button or the close button. Now let's return to the home screen, where we can access additional layers. Next, we'll move on to the EMC router. By selecting the router of our choice, we can view its configured outputs. Some routers will also display the currently selected or switched input. From here, we can perform a router switch if desired. For example, to switch News HD to one of our recorders, we simply click the Take button. A confirmation dialog box will appear, and by clicking OK, the browser-based switch is completed. The same principle applies to device control. By navigating to the EMCNT layer, we get a quick view of every serial or IP-controlled device at the station. This functionality allows us to see what's queued and what's playing by simply hovering over each device. This feature provides a robust database layer directly from the machine control. If we need to verify what's queued up, we can simply access the low-resolution player to ensure the content is accurate and ready for broadcast. Now let's take a look at Encompass. To start, open Encompass by clicking the corresponding button along the main menu as shown. Encompass ACP application. Encompass functions as a tool, allowing you to transfer media, traditional or syndicated, to the video server. The Infinity Video Server provides the primary screen interface for Encompass, showing upcoming commands and the devices that are available. Encompass makes it easy for broadcasters to handle and play back file-based content from systems like PitchBlue, Pathfire, Extreme Reach, and more. Since most commercials and programming come as digital files, they don't always work smoothly with video servers. That's where Encompass comes in, streamlining your workflow by using the metadata from these files efficiently. With a simple, unified interface, it remotely manages all content delivery platforms and moves content seamlessly from the provider to your on-air video server. Next, let's focus on the NGest layer. We'll begin with the NGest recorder. You'll notice that its interface closely mirrors, if not exactly matches, the main NGest system running at the station. From here, we can select a different source for recording and choose a different destination or recorder for the content save. We can quickly set up the duration and assign a material name. Additionally, we can provide a description or ISKI metadata to start the recording. Simply click Record Queued, followed by the Record button. Once the recording is complete, click Stop, and the content will be ready for broadcast. There's also a timer feature that allows us to schedule recordings at specific times, enabling us to leave the screen unattended. Next, we move on to the NTime layer. NTime provides an overview of all the recorders configured for the recording schedule, such as VR1, VR2, VR3, and VR4 in this scenario. The program displays a horizontal timeline showing when recordings are scheduled throughout the day. For more detailed information about the recording schedules, we can click on NTime. This will provide a vertical, line-by-line breakdown of each scheduled event. The recording schedule is cyclical, based on the day of the week, so we can view events from Sunday through Saturday. From this screen, we can easily make modifications to the recording events as needed. Simply locate the event and adjust its details to reflect any changes required for each day of the week. Moving on to the NControl layer, the playlist and the final aspect of web control. The first screen we encounter in NControl is a horizontal timeline view of all configured channels. We have our 2 main channels and 3 sub-channels displayed, each indicating what is currently playing and what is coming up next. From this view, we can click on any channel to quickly access a similar vertical breakdown of its scheduled events. From this interface, we have full access to open new schedules, close existing ones, convert from traffic, reconcile as-run logs, and modify events as needed. This allows us to make real-time adjustments to ensure smooth transitions to air. Similar modification options are available for on-the-fly changes. If we need to view any timers in a larger display, we can click on the time of day clock to expand the view. This includes a counter that can count up or down for events, as well as a break duration timer. The break duration feature is particularly useful in newsroom environments, allowing staff to visually see how long the breaks are before they need to resume production or return to the newsroom. When it comes to actual monitoring, we have a user layer that accommodates both users and guests. At a separate laptop station, we have another user logged in as a guest. This allows us to view the same channels as they are broadcast. We can see what's coming up next, but note that guest users do not have edit functionality. Attempting to open an item will result in a not supported message. This feature is particularly useful for monitoring channels from different locations within the facility or even remotely over the internet, allowing you to watch your channel's playback from virtually anywhere. This concludes our demonstration of NVerzion's web hybrid utility. For more information, visit NVerzion.com.